busyness of the morning, just letting that go. And breathing into the life and vibrancy of the living Spirit right here, right now. And with each breath, relaxing more deeply, allowing the chair to support your body, knowing that you are always supported by the love of Spirit. And resting in this love, let us unfold even more to the magnificent essence of who we truly are. Radiant, eternal, loved, alive with the pulse of Spirit. And in this awareness, bring your awareness to your heart area, into the temple of your heart, where there is an eternal light of love. And see this love gently filtering throughout your whole body, healing, balancing, restoring, comforting, flowing in perfect divine rhythm. And see this light filling you from head to toe, relaxing and blessing all in its path. Until your whole body is filled with light from head to toe, from inside to out. This protective light, this healing light, this light of life, divine life, that you are, that you have always been, and will always be. And if you choose, you may see or imagine this light extending beyond your body to connect with the lights of those around you. As it amplifies and brightens, connecting light to light, heart to heart, spirit to spirit, with the love that knows no bounds. As this light travels out beyond these walls to connect with other heart lights in our city, our state, our world. One in this divine light, we are. One light, one life, one planet, cradled in light, a light in the universe. And so I now see you traveling back through this beam of light in the world, to the country, back to the state, to the city, to this room. In this very room, there is enough love. There is an abundance of love, of light, right where you are, from head to toe, inside out. And let us be with this luminosity for a few moments in the silence. And now, as we return our awareness to this room, let us give thanks for the ever-present golden light and our connection to God, each other, and to all life. And we say, thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Robyn. Boy, your voice is like butter. It just melts into our hearts and minds. Isn't it? I just love her voice. Gary's going to introduce the song.
This is one of our songs. Speaking of Carl Anthony, by the way, he's a really good friend of ours. He's co-written some songs with us. Be here next week and bring a friend. He's amazing. You guys are going to love it. And he did not help us co-write this one. We did this one by ourselves, but it's about what we just did, being in the silence and connecting to our infinite selves.
Sun.
Thank you, Kate Hill and Elaine. Such beautiful music this morning. Wow. Oh boy, here we are. Isn't it great to be here in Unity of Carlsbad in this wonderful spiritual home? And can you feel the softness, the energy that we create, all of us create when we come here and bring here? Yes. So I am glad to be back. And I want to thank Reverend Jackie for an awesome talk last week. Thank you, Reverend Jackie. And we have another minister in the house too today, Reverend Becky and her family. Welcome. So this is the month where Unity churches all over the world do what's called like a fall faith or spiritual enrichment program. So we join a positive collective consciousness as we're focusing on deepening our relationship with God, with Spirit. And isn't that a great time to do this? Because there's a lot competing for our attention, isn't there? So this is about freeing our minds from all the little sticky thoughts, that can come from the outer or in the inner, just like sticky, ooh, yeah, like gummy worms, just like throw them up. And so we're going to do that with this book, which I really enjoy, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, The Journey Beyond Yourself. Well, what is there beyond yourself? We're going to find out. How many of you have read this book or studied it before? A couple of people. Yeah, good. So we're going to have class today, and when I created the schedule, I envisioned sunshine at the picnic table. So today we're going to have a free class, probably short, half an hour or so discussion in the back, so I hope you can join. If you feel drawn to this material, please join us. We're going to have some good discussion after service. So, Pema Chodron, Buddhist nun, said that if it weren't for my mind, my meditation would be excellent. Can you relate to that? Yeah, the mind just loves to just get so active, right? Just gets so active. And so the question is, who are we really, under all those thoughts, underneath our emotions, our feelings, our body sensations? Who are we? That's our question that we start with on this journey. And I commend all of you because 97% of people don't ask this question, who am I? They don't. They just go right along and do life and are like just tossed by the waves and go through life. But here we are, spiritual seekers, spiritual explorers. And when I always say seeker, I say finder. Because we seek and we find, right? And then we want to know more, so we keep going. So if someone asked, who are you? What would you say? Maybe society expects us to say a role or a job or, like I work at the city or I'm a nurse or I'm Caleb's grandma or I'm a scientist or I'm retired or I'm a caregiver. And while all of these may be accurate, how would you answer the question, who are you, if you didn't refer to your job, your role, your gender, your age, possessions, or personal appearance? How would you answer that question? So on this quest to know the deeper self, the deepest self, we can look at what the divine self is not. Meister Eckhart once wrote, God is not found in the soul by adding anything, but by a process of subtraction. We don't usually like that word subtraction, do we? It's like a math problem. You have to figure out, whoa, something's going to have to go. So our first practice is to notice what the divine self is not by looking at what the Untethered author calls the voice inside your head. And if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have a voice inside my head, that's the voice we're talking about. So are you with me so far? Okay, good. So this is about becoming the observer to all those. Are those butterflies? I don't know. I like to think they're being released. Maybe they're coming in. I don't know. So this is about becoming the observer about all that mental activity that goes. And often without our conscious direction, right? It's like, where did that thought come from? Oh, it's a line from a commercial from 1990. Where did that come from? You know, all kinds of things. So this is about harnessing our inner power, you know, going deeper beyond that, all of that chatter. Harnessing our inner power like Jesus taught, like Unity taught, you know. Because Unity was founded on prayer and healing. So the voice inside your head that keeps talking and talking and talking and commenting on every little thing. It can cover past, present, and future in lightning speed. Sometimes I think of it like that. You know how it goes. Is there food in my teeth again? Oh no, I shouldn't order spinach for lunch if we go out to lunch. But that voice can take both sides and say, oh, you love spinach. Just order it. And then go in the bathroom, switch the tea a little bit, and then go in the bathroom and check. You know, so this voice can ping pong back and forth. It comments on the mundane and the profound and everything in between. It can be judgmental and critical. Some call it the inner saboteur. Or it can be encouraging and kind of sneaky. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it just keeps going and going and going and narrating experience of life. And even if you yell at it to stop, that's still the voice yelling at the voice. So, to become conscious of this, Singer advises, I love this, he says to think of your internal voice as an inner roommate. How many of you have had a roommate? Or maybe you have one now. Results may vary, right? That could bring back memories. So the inner voice is like a roommate who follows you around and comments on everything, has an opinion about everything, chattering away, often changing her mind back and forth. You know, you sit down to watch TV, right? And the roommate starts, are you watching that again? That's so mindless. Why don't you turn that off? Oh, wait, let's see this commercial. I didn't know there was a sale at Macy's. Yak. So Singer calls it the inner troublemaker that creates mental melodrama and could ruin your best day. And often has. Have you had that experience where the mind just makes up a story and talks you out of something that you've been looking forward to, or it's usually something good, that voice comes up. I call that voice, I have a name for mine, I call it fiction mind. Because I'm a writer, I like to write stories. Oh, there goes fiction mind, making up a story. You know, I can remember traveling to Australia a few years ago. I just wanted to go to Australia for years and years, and my kids finally grew up and left the house, and I thought, now I can go to Australia. And I remember sitting in Byron Bay on the beach, and this beautiful sand, and the bottle green waves, and I was about to go, there were swimmers and surfers, and I was about to go swimming in the ocean, which I used to love to do. And the inner voice, the roommate, started up. Are you really going to leave your stuff here on the beach? What if someone takes it? How are you going to get back to the hostel? You should have gone with a group. Maybe you won't go in the water. What if there's sharks? What if there's jellyfish? Don't be ridiculous. People are swimming in there. They're surfers. Your things will be fine. Just get in the water. So if you have that, is it just me, you know? It just goes and goes, and then we wonder why we're so tired, sometimes. Exhausting, right? When that inner roommate gets riled up. So the inner roommate. And what is this inner roommate? In unity terms, we might call it the ego, or the personality that's informed by past experience, family habits, what we hear from others, memory, and it's easily changeable and easily impressionable by outside forces. And it has one job, and that's to keep you safe. That's it. It doesn't care about growth. It doesn't care about having fun. It doesn't care about enlightenment. It wants to tuck you into that comfort zone and stay there. So on one level, we have to stop for a minute to say we need our egos to be out in the material world, because we need it so we can function, so we don't wander into traffic or, put the hand on the stove or something, so it's helpful in that way. But when it comes to personal growth, the ego sees everything as a hot stove. You want to write that book? Oh, there's tons of books like that already. Why would you want to do that? You want to start this program? Oh, you don't have time, or too old, or too young, or whatever. Or you want to start that business. Oh, but, I don't think you could really do that. That voice gets active. Or you want to take the trip of your lifetime that you've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And this is where the inner roommate can get real sneaky. You can say, oh, you wanna take that trip? Okay, well, you need some shoes, so let's go online and look. And then you find some shoes, and then that takes you to, these cork sandals, and then that takes you to cork flooring, and then before you know it, you're in some other shopping thing wanting to redo your floors in your house, and so it can be sneaky that way, just just take it along and distract you, right? So this ego voice, the inner roommate, is often very loud, contradictory, cajoling, sometimes shaming too, and sneaky. And this, of course, is very different from the voice of intuition and inspiration, the voice of spirit. This is very different. The spirit is usually quiet, gentle, persistent, and guidance. And sometimes it's not even a thought, it just drops in as a knowing, right? How many of you have had practice with discerning that, is it the voice of spirit, the voice of the ego? We work with that, don't we? Yeah. And it is a practice. So the true self is not the voice of the mind. It's more than our thoughts. We'll get to that one. It's more than our thoughts, more than our feelings, more than our bodies, more than our roles, more than our past. The true self is the one who observes it all. If you think of when you were a kid, or if you are a kid now, when you were a younger kid, you're the same inside. There's something inside that's the same, right? You have these experiences as you grow and your body changes, your hair changes, and we have different experiences, but there's something inside that's precious, that's holy, that's the same, that never changes. I've moved into a new senior community, and I've had wonderful conversations with people. And this older gentleman this week, he said he was going to be 82. He said, I feel the same inside. I feel the same inside as when I was a teenager, you know? So that's that divine self, that holy presence that is going through it all in this human experience we're in. So the real you, pure consciousness, awareness, the witness, the core divine essence. And often in the world, and it's called by many names in world traditions, the Buddhist self, the Hindu Atman, the Christian, Judeo-Christian soul. In unity, we might call it the Christ consciousness, this divine self, the higher self, the I am. The I am. And there's power in the I am, power in that divine self that we want to free from the inner roommate, free from the chatter, to unleash that, untether that. As Jesus said, I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12. And Jesus said, you are also the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people put a lamp and put a basket over it, under a basket. Instead, they put it on its stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So heaven is a here and now experience, right? Father, Mother God, another word for the divine. So we have this beautiful divine consciousness that is pivotal. It can pivot inside to notice our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations. It can pivot outside to observe. And we have the choice of, do we stay centered in the light as we pivot, or do we get lost in the story or the drama? And, you know, sometimes this is fun to get lost in the movie, the book, the etc. But if we know it's a movie and a book, that's one thing, versus getting lost in drama that seems real, right? So we've all had this happen, right? We start out focused, we start out centered, then maybe get drawn in. But this is this practice of being alive as a spiritual being, having a spiritual experience in this human form, in this world of form, that we practice falling asleep less and waking up sooner when we do fall asleep. So this week, I invite us to be the gentle observer of the inner voice, to notice when it gets real loud, when it doesn't speak, what it says, and also to notice those moments of your divine self and your divine awareness coming in. Even if it's something small, like you're standing in line and you notice, oh, before I would have been so mad that this line was so long, but now I'm just kind of in the flow, you know, in the peace of it, being in the moment. Just to notice that. Because you all have these moments. We all have these moments. And so have gentle curiosity to observe this week, to get to know the inner roommate and the divine self, and to just appreciate that divine self and see if it comes out to play more. And so it is, and so we let it be. Thank you.